All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. Now, we're going to talk about Sean Strickland again, but this time, this is going to be fun, okay? It's going to be a fun video. I'm going to tell you in advance. So, Sean Strickland said that he would fight Jake Paul to the death.
Jake Paul is such a fucking coward. Like, you're picking guys who can't box, wrestlers. Like, Jake Paul, for $5 million, I would fight you to the fucking death. I'm not even joking. I'm being 100% serious. I would go to a deserted island with you today and fight you to the death for $5 million. But here's the thing about you, Jake Paul. You're a fucking coward. You're a little bitch. You're the millennial YouTube generation. You just do shit for attention. You're a weak fuck, man, and you're gonna continue to be a weak fuck and make a shit ton of money. That I respect you for, but I also fucking hate you.
For $5 million. This was in response to Jake Paul having said that he would pay Jorge Masvidal $5 million base plus pay-per-view if he came in and boxed him. It's obviously ridiculous, and we can actually talk about that for a second. Like, Jake Paul throwing out these offers at guys that are obviously locked up in their UFC contracts it's good marketing. It's just good marketing because you know it's going to get a lot of press coverage. But you think that Jake Paul doesn't know that Jorge Masvidal is locked in a UFC contract? I mean, like, of course he knows that, dude. Like, of course he knows. So he's all, hey, Jorge, I'll tell you what, man. Well, I'll do one better than Dana. How about we give you $60 million guaranteed? Now, he won't do that, actually, because then Dana would be like, cool, let's take it. We'll go ahead and take that deal. And then, and he's like, well, I mean, I meant $60 million paid out over 18 fights. I mean, right? But yeah, so he can basically say whatever he wants because he knows they can't take it. But so after that, Sean Strickland's doing an interview, which if I remember, I will put into this video. And he basically was like, if I'm remembering correctly, was like, dude, $5 million? He's like, I would do anything for $5 million. I would fight to the death. I would fight Jake Paul to the death. Now, why I think this is funny is because of the implications of that comment from Sean Strickland. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean. And then also what we're going to do with this video is we're going to talk about other things that he might do for $5 million. Like, we're going to just throw it out. And then you guys can say in the comments, I should have done this live actually. But yeah, I've actually been going live a lot lately, trying to keep it entertaining while everybody is locked down and there's not a lot of, not locked down, but while we're on break and there's not a lot of UFC going on. I've been going live a lot. I'll probably go live again later. But yeah, so you guys can also comment whether you would do these specific things for $5 million, because I'm going to demonstrate why Sean Strickland saying that he would fight Jake Paul to the death for $5 million is a ridiculous comment coming from him. So before I do, though, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. Look it. This is a fun UFC channel. I'm just going to say it. I go live a lot. I bring my wife on. We have a good time here, dude. We have a good time. If there's no reason to not subscribe, unless you're just trying to do it to be a prick. And I understand that. But I'm a prick too. And so I'm just asking, prick to prick, maybe just throw a subscribe my way and I will appreciate it. Jeez. Anywho, I love you guys. So that's that. Okay, so here's the deal. This is why that's a ridiculous comment from Sean Strickland, okay? Now, if you were going to do a death match, right? Like if you say, I would fight him to the death, how do you envision that fight? Like, how, what's the rule set? Is it a boxing match with headgears on? Nope. Is it a boxing match, period? No. Death match generally entails a no rules situation, or at the most, I don't know why safety would be a concern for a fight to the death, but like you'd be looking at, UFC rules would be like the most careful, rule set that you would go into a death match, right? So MMA gloves, etc. So let's just say in reality, probably more likely you're going to wrap your hands, dip them in glue, and then dip them into broken glass, like the movie. Comment the movie, okay? What movie is that from? Wrap your hands, dip them in glue, dip them into broken shards of glass, and fight like that. What is that movie? If you don't know, you better brush up on your Van Damme movies, and that's embarrassing. But yeah, so you'd be looking at something like that, right? So let's just say it's some form of mixed martial arts, though. Now, who would that favor in that matchup? So you got Jake Paul and you have Sean Strickland. Which of them is a more experienced mixed martial artist, right? So now I'm not saying Jake Paul would be a walkthrough for anybody, including Sean Strickland. He's a big, strong dude who has titanic power in his hands. I mean, like, it's not going to just be some easy day at work for Sean Strickland. But if you were a betting man, right? If you're a betting man, who are you going to bet on in that fight? Probably Sean Strickland, right? Like most likely Sean Strickland. And who do you think Sean Strickland is going to be betting on, right? So like in his mind, when he says a thing like that, what do you think the odds are in his mind of him losing that fight? Probably pretty close to zero, right? Like, I would assume like zero. So basically what he's saying is, dude, I would do anything for $5 million, including beating an inferior opponent that everyone in the world hates to death, dude. I would do that. Like, I would take it on the chin for $5 million, just like that. Like, the guy that everyone wants to beat, I would be the one to do it, and I would do it in a death match. I would sacrifice like that. I would do it. And so that's why it's a ridiculous comment, because it's like, oh, you would do that, dude? Oh, wow, man. Like, that's real commitment to that $5 million. That really is. Like, you would win a fight against a guy everyone wants to see lose, and you would actually just beat him until he never got to fight ever again. Like, wow. Commitment. Okay, so here's my question. How about if we get to throw out other options for the $5 million? And this is where you guys get to participate. So you can say whether you're in for these things. Okay, so how about instead of Jake Paul, it's Francis Ngannou? How about you do a death match against Francis Ngannou for $5 million? Are you in for that? Probably not. I don't think the money would spend very well from 6 feet underground, right? Cyril Gane, how about that? You want to do the Cyril Gane death match? Probably not. Probably not, right? So that demonstrates why it's a ridiculous comment. Now let's talk about what you would do for $5 billion. Okay, so for $5 million, would you, and this is Sean Strickland, but also for all of you guys, would you close your eyes and let Francis Ngannou punch you directly in your face, straight on, okay? So a straight shot, straight to the nose and teeth, as hard as you can, for $5 million. So, I mean, if you think that you can hold still or have people hold you there so you actually can't move. So you're literally, actually, that's even better. So you actually get your head in a vice, right? So you have your head in a vice so you can't move, right? And once you're committed, you can't, like if you say yes, that's it, okay? Like you say, yes, I'll do it. You sign, it's over. Once you get in there, like there's nothing you can do. You can't talk your way out of it. It's happening, right? So you sign, you say $5 million. They put your head in a vice, right? It doesn't hurt. You just can't move. And you just sit there like this and you get to look and watch and they do something to hold your eyes open. And so Francis just goes, boom, nose, teeth, jaw. Would you take that shot for $5 million? Would you? Do you think, I mean, you basically have to factor in what's the recovery time going to be? And the doctor's bills are covered, right? So like that $5 million, you're not going to have to pay the doctors that are going to have to put your face back together. You just, if you can absorb it and survive, which, you know, I assume, I mean, people will survive, you know, you most likely won't die, but you'll have to deal with a completely annihilated nose, probably all of your teeth knocked out, your jaw dislodged, and then will have to be put back together. Like, would you accept that for $5 million? Because I don't think I would. I'll be honest with you, dude. That's I think if it was, man, I don't even know what the number would be for that. I think for 15, I would probably do it. 15, maybe 20. Ooh, I don't even, oh God. You know, and you're like, and you just have to psych yourself up. You're all, okay, once I sign, it's over. I can't get out of it. So let's just do this and I'm committed. And then, you know, like 3 months from now, I'm going to have that 20 and there's no taxes taken out. This is just a straight shot. Boom, check, done. No IRS. So would you do that for 5? Could you do that for 5? All you have to do is just sign, then it's over. It's happening, right? How about, I don't know how I'm going to top that one. I got to be honest. See this, like, come on, dude. Let's just take a moment. What other UFC channel is like this? Honestly, like seriously, I'm being totally serious. What other UFC channel does this type of thing? There's none. And if you guys can acknowledge that, can you actually just forward this? Like, put it up in a chat room, forward it to your friends and go, I didn't like this guy at first, but I gotta be honest, I really like this fucking guy. Or I really hate this guy, but it's kind of fun watching his videos and thinking about whether I would take a shot from Francis Ngannou for $15 million, right? Okay, so what else? I didn't come in with a plan. The only one that I thought of was like, would you fight France to the death for him? And then anyway, how about, would you, oh my God, I just thought of such a terrible one. Oh my God, okay, so for $5 million, would you stand straight-legged and let Khalil Roundtree do that front kick to your knee and just fold your knee? God, like he did that to that dude. Except for you, a regular person, it's just gonna collapse your knee. Could you take that? Like, ooh, man, that actually just sent a shiver down my spine. Oh God, that's awful. You know what? This game's over. This game is over. I have creeped myself out enough. But yeah, Sean Strickland, death match with Jake Paul. I'll buy it. That's for goddamn sure. I would buy that fight. I'm buying all death matches. I'm buying all, like I said, dude, you like this guy across the street who, you know, can't even move fast enough to like go get his newspaper and back without having to like, oh, I'm bending over to grab it, which is actually exactly how I feel right now. I hurt my back. But that guy against the next door neighbor who's all, I have never played athletics. It's like, but you guys are going to fight? Yeah, I don't like him. I'm in. I'm watching, dude. Two people want to violently solve a problem. I'm in. I will watch. And then if I deem anyone to be doing something dirty or underhanded or deserving of intervention, then maybe I would go and, you know, hey there, old guy. Actually, I'm not going to beat one of them up. What am I talking about? But I would definitely watch. Anyway, this is what I've got for now. So subscribe to the channel, ring the bell.